This is the walkthrough video for PCTC 2023, round 1, senior question 7, chalk snapping. So this question is pretty interesting. We're basically told that this person snaps half a chocolate and eats that half of the chocolate. And then she keeps doing that a certain amount of times. And then we're given the input, which is how much of the chocolate we have remaining. And we would need to figure out how many times she's snapped the chocolates and eaten that half. So now if you just think through this problem before you write any piece of code, any line of code, you might notice that there's some sort of relation here. And what is it? So if you think about it, every time she snaps chocolate in half, you go from and eats a half. You go from having 1/1 chocolates, so one full chocolate, to now having two half chocolates, but she's eaten a half, so you only have a half left. And so now you have a half chocolate. And the same process happens again. She snaps it in half, so now you have 2/4 or two-fourths of a chocolate, but she eats 1/4 of that. So now you only have 1/4, and so on. So it goes from like 1 to 1/2 to 1/4 to 1/8 to 1/16 and so on. The denominator keeps doubling because you keep halving the amount of chocolate you have. And now that we know that, there are a couple of different ways you can solve this problem. And the first way is you can kind of just simulate this. You can simulate each snap, which would of course work, especially because we only got up to 20 times, and therefore this code doesn't have to be too efficient. Or you can do the more mathematical way, which is what I'm going to do, because this is computing, this is like binary, this is like whatever. So 8 is 2 to the power of 3, right? 2 times 3 times 3, no, sorry, 2 times 2 times 2, 3 times, is equal to 8. And so we can use that relation to basically try and get a number that once 2's done to the power of that number, we get whatever we inputted. And so let's take in our input. But what we're going to do is we only want the number on the bottom of our input. And so we're going to split our input on the slash, and we're going to take in everything. We're going to take in. Actually, we don't need to do that, do we? We're just going to take in our input, and we're going to go from character 2 onwards. So we basically just ignore the first two characters because we know for a fact the first two characters are a 1 and a slash, and so we only care about anything after the slash. So in this case, there's just going to be an 8. And of course, we need to turn that into an integer because currently that's just a string. And now let's do our maths idea. So we can just iterate through every number. So for I in range 0 to, I don't know, she snaps at a maximum of 20 times. So let's just go for 21. I remember because Python always ends at the number before you input. So if I put 21 here, it's going to end at 20. Okay, and now I'm going to see if 2 to the power of I is equal to num. And if it is equal to num, then I want to print out I because I know that's how many times I've snapped it. And then I just want to break out of this for loop so that I'm just done. I guess we don't actually need to break out of the for loop, but yeah, we might as well because it's a bit more efficient and it's a bit cleaner code. But yeah, and we kind of just we can check this works with the example input because this will go up, I will go up, and eventually I will get to 3, and 2 to the power of 3 is 8, which is what num is equal to, and therefore it will print off that 3 and then break, and yeah, we get 5 out of 5 for that.